Look, I mean, let's take a step back to where we are as a brand and, our genesis of a brand. We're an 11-year-old brand and just 11 years of commercial operations. And the whole genesis of a brand name like Yes, which is, very, very different in the banking space. And in fact, the first few years, people almost didn't take us seriously because it was such a contemporary, almost FMCG-ish sort of brand name, right? But the thought process then, and it's only got reinforced, is that we wanted to create a bank which is optimistic, which is positive, which is there for the consumers, which is essentially a partner in the life cycle of the consumer, rather than a bank which is one of those very old age sort of heritage institutions which are great, but the mindset's different. And I think what's different at Yes Bank is the mindset. So with that backdrop, with us being an Indian bank, as you're aware, we're a Indian private sector bank with a complete ethos of Indianness ingrained in us. So with that background, we got a lot of consumer dipstick, insight, etc. And what was coming out was a clear positioning that people perceived and people wanted the bank to reinforce around, of course, the Indianness. But also, a bulk of our consumers are the young, go-getters, people between the age of 25 and 40, who are really the next gen in a sense, who are achieving newer heights every day, who are benefiting from the, the boom of the new economy, and people who believe that tomorrow will be better than today. And it was a very, very simple insight that, as Indians and as, the Nielsen consumer survey on consumer confidence indicates that India is the #1 country in the world on consumer perception, consumer confidence. So essentially, the generation that we are talking about has the highest amount of faith in the country and in their future. And with that as a backdrop, the insight essentially was to talk to a generation which is saying yes to opportunities, and hence India Bole Yes. So it's really about a generation, people, consumers saying yes to opportunity, saying yes to positive outcomes, saying yes to tomorrow being better than today. As you're aware, we launched this campaign on the cusp of independence. We launched it on Twitter with a digital first strategy. We had a amazing sort of run there. We've launched it on print, we've launched it now on television, we've launched it on outdoor across 18 cities, including Delhi, Bombay and 16 state capitals. And we're now going to take it BTL in a big way through a flagship property called Yes Community, where we reach out to our consumers through our branches and branch serving areas. The other thing we will do under this umbrella, and again it's because the brand so powerful, India Bole Yes, the tagline so powerful, is again do a lot of positivity campaigns, right? So whether it's with media houses, whether it's with government agencies, whether it's with NGOs, essentially use our partnerships to see how can we really do campaigns that that sort of build in the confidence in the neighborhood, in the larger community, and then has a positive resonating effect on the brand. So I think that is more at a BTL level, but overall digital is big, right? So whether it's NRIs, whether it's just the young professionals, business owners, SMEs, essentially under this gamut we want to drive the whole point of being a partner in the success that each individual is driving for. Well, so I think the way we launched it was unique, right? We launched it on Twitter. I think that was different. It was a first for us and fit, was well in line with the digital first strategy. You're going to see a lot of innovation, play out over the next few weeks and months. So you're going to see lots of things that we're going to do possibly in schools and colleges, right? We can talk about some of that as it pans out, because it's a little too soon right now. We're going to do a lot about it, with the products that we are launching. So, for example, under this gamut, we also have a lot of digital and social, platform products. And in fact, only in the next couple of weeks, we'll be launching a social, networks product, which is going to be, which will run across 10 social platforms, right? Now that is a very, very differentiated piece. right? So the whole idea is that not only do you create the brand sort of pull, but also you at the ground level, at the last mile, you also have products that sort of support the the positive India Bole Yes theme, and you're going to see a host of digital enabled products and services partnerships that will get unleashed. We'd like to believe that what we're launching has never been done before, and you'll have to wait for just about a week or 10 days to see. We'll definitely reach out to you with those details. But essentially what I can say in a nutshell is that it's not going to be restricted to 1, 2 or 3 platforms, but it's going to run across multiple platforms, and it's going to be very seamless. It's also in a sense going to have an overlay, so you won't have to switch multiple applications, etc. But essentially the banking service will seamlessly integrate with with whatever social media platform you're talking about, and I think that's a big differentiator. So look, the insight again there was that people, or we felt some banks pushed a lot of social media products just for the sake of it. I think our insight was clear that if we want to have a product which is a banking product which is going to overlay a social media sort of universe for the consumer, which is really the personal space, a lot of people don't like too much of interference there, then we want to ensure that it works seamlessly. We'll obviously deepen the India Bole Yes theme, because this is a theme that, as as I was sharing, we don't run short-term campaigns. If we believe in a theme, we want to run this deep. In fact, we did a very big internal launch before we did an external launch of the campaign, because we want our people, 12,000 Yes bankers, to internalize this. And you're going to see this basically run across multiple platforms that we see. So what you will see is of course greater outlays on this campaign itself. So you've seen right now a more overarching theme. Over the next few weeks you will see a product rendition to these the India Bole Yes campaign, where the emotional connect will be balanced with the rational benefit of the product, and this we'll do across 5 or 6 products. You will see a lot of digital innovation. So basically when we launch our social platforms, we will ensure that the social banking platforms are beautifully sort of in the digital space, innovatively talking about the benefits. And then you're going to see a lot of BTL both in our branches and across a lot of very high impact properties that we associate with. So October to March is a very heavy event season in a sense, and Yes Bank does a lot of these flagship properties. So whether it's on sporting properties such as polo or art, or culture, theatre, literature, we are associated either with big publication houses or big event properties, or we curate some of our own properties, and all of these will be run under the India Bole Yes umbrella. So I think that's the way forward. You'll see a lot more of us in the next 6 months.